to Loon Me After Dark.
Oh no.
Just kidding. How has your week gone since the last time we recorded?
So since our last recording, we are now on iTunes.
Didn't we say that last time?
No, we were trying to get on iTunes, but now we are officially on iTunes.
We are officially on iTunes. I added the link to the site.
Yay.
And you can actually search for us and we come up in the top
Yay.
results, unlike wherever we are on Spotify in the void there.
We're somewhere on Spotify.
Somewhere. It's some sort of a void. It's a void where podcasts go to die.
I'm so happy. And to celebrate that, we are having our mid-kid draw some new
Illustrations,
yeah.
For the website. Yeah, I'm going to redo the website too to make it a little bit more interactive and
illustrations of our heads. It'll be
Yeah.
fun. I look nothing like me, so I'll be beautiful. It'll be great. I'm thrilled.
For somebody who is...
I'm pretty thrilled about it.
For somebody who's actually beautiful in real life, you sure do have a poor opinion of yourself in cartoon form.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I've been having a pretty good track record with the weight loss and stuff, thanks to you. You've been helping me an enormous amount, both with like food allocation and preparation, and you've also been a good, I guess, cheerleader support system for my mental breakdowns, which are inevitably happening every week now.
Yeah.
I think as I get smaller and I start to shed the armor that I've spent so many years building, it makes it harder and harder for me to, and maybe that's why up until this point I've inevitably failed at this weight loss journey, is because I get scared.
Yeah.
That I won't be the same me on the other side, and that I'll be somebody different or somebody worse.
I know. It's scary.
It is scary. It's very scary.
It's a scary thing. You peel back those layers and you become more vulnerable. That's a scary feeling and stuff.
It also feels lonely because nobody else in our family has gone through this struggle mentally or physically, right?
Right.
Not lonely in that you guys have abandoned me or you're not supportive or not there for me, just lonely in that no matter what I say, there's not ever going to be a full level of understanding of what it's feeling like, you know?
But I don't think that you have to have the same exact experience as someone in order to sympathize with them and understand understand that they're struggling or see that they're struggling.
I do. I agree with that. But then I think there are certain situations that can't be true. Like, being Black in America.
Yeah.
Me as a white person, I can strive to understand. I can try to understand and try to be supportive and helpful. And when I see something, call it out, those kinds of things. But I'm never going to know what it's like.
Yeah.
To be Black in America because I am not Black.
I know.
Right. So, and I'm not comparing being fat to being Black. It's a completely different situation. But I think that with being overweight, there are things that you can't know if you've never been overweight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go back and forth on whether or not it's something other people can understand or not. It's just, it's very different the way that society treats you, and I don't get it as bad as overweight women do, right? Mm-hmm. Overweight women get treated much worse in this country or in this world than overweight men do.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm fortunate there, I suppose, but I still do get weird looks and off treatment, and I just feel wrong and out of place.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a hard thing to go through, and it's a harder thing to realize that all of those things are part of that journey, and part of that process is going through that turmoil and that roller coaster of emotion and your hormones are affected in some ways when you're losing weight as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, lots of things.
You're going to have some imbalances there, and you're going to have mood swings and just.
Yeah, you can, and they can change from minute to minute too. So 1 minute you can be feeling good about what's going on and how much you're losing. And then the next minute you're like, well, no, This is too much. It's too overwhelming. It's too much, too big of feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. I apologize for being kind of a bitch lately, but
It's all right.
I am trying.
I know.
That's our family motto. I'm putting that on our crest. I'm trying.
And I'm trying too, but you're not, I keep saying this and I don't know if it's helping, but you're not alone. Like, I'm here. I'm right there. I'm right here with you.
No, and I know that I'm not alone and that you have my back and my six and you're my ride and or die. But there still is some loneliness there.
Yeah, I get that.
And it has nothing to do with you or your actions or,
right.
or
and
your
that's
support level. It has to do with just internalizing trauma. Mm-hmm. Because being overweight is traumatic. It is trauma from yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're hurting yourself. Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole thing, is that I can't, as a feeler and a helper, I can't help that. I can't help this for you. I can be supportive. I can, do the things around you, but you are the one that has to walk through the feelings, and you're the one that has to walk through them alone, because, I can listen, but if I say the wrong wording or I try to describe it a certain way and it's not your truth or the way you feel, then, I don't want to take that on and be the bad guy.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a difficult journey for all of us to just be human beings, but then to also understand what each individual person is going through.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Not unlike Buffy in season 6. I have to walk through that fire by myself, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all have to walk through.
You've got to be Giles. I've got to be Buffy.
We all have to walk through our own fire, Yeah. And it can be lonely, especially, I don't really need somebody who's going through the same things I'm going through to understand, or at least to care.
Right.
And I think that's where I'm coming from with you, and like with our kids and stuff, is that I don't need to have the same feelings or emotions or situation to care.
Right.
I just have to care, and I just have to be there. That's all I know what to do.
Well, for me in my situation, it's not just like, oh, I'm losing weight. And, part of the reason that I was heavy was because I was protecting myself in some way, in a destructive way, self-destructive way. But that at the end of the day, that's what I was doing. But there's also that level of addiction.
Yeah.
That it took me a long time to come to terms with, oh, this is not just normal behavior that I'm, eating.
You're consciously,
overeating.
It's not something that you're consciously doing.
Right.
But it started as a defense mechanism or a coping mechanism.
And it turned into an addiction that I can't,
There are, I forget what it's called. It's called something where you comfort yourself.
Right.
And some people have like
self-soothing.
Yeah. Some people have like hand wringing, or,
right.
You ball your hands up into fists, or you do something to make yourself feel better after having anxiety or trauma of some
Big
kind.
Emotions, yeah.
And, it can manifest itself into so many different kinds of ways.
Yep.
And to recognize that is at least, a huge battle.
Yeah.
And then to fight that's big.
I think I realized that it had become an addiction when I discovered that I could eat an entire XYZ and not even realize I was doing it. Right? Like almost a blackout type of, and then go, oh shit, did I eat that whole thing? Oh boy. Oh boy. Right?
Yeah.
And I know that it's not seen as an addiction by some people, and it's not an addiction that you really can avoid, because I still have to eat to survive.
Yeah.
I'm a human being, right? But I think there are, qualities of addiction that can occur and that can repeat, and their habits. I think that if you are cognizant of it and you have help, like real help, you can break that pattern and start to heal. But if you just say, oh, I'm just going to handle this myself because I've tried this, I can give myself just the right amount of food
Yeah.
And then you start lying to yourself, or you start bargaining with yourself. Okay, well, I'm going to have one more peanut butter and jelly sandwich today, and then tomorrow I'm going to start a diet. That's addictive behavior, right? Because then tomorrow comes and you just have another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You don't start a diet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's just not being kind to yourself, not like being
It's definitely self-destructive, but all addiction is self-destructive.
Yeah.
It all starts as a self-destructive habit. And then you get to a point where you're like, you're just in this routine of it.
Yeah.
Right? And
You're
you
just
can't
caught
break
up.
free, and you're living in your head,
Yeah.
and you can't break free from it without help. But you first have to realize it's happening.
Yeah. That's
Anyways,
sad.
sorry for bringing it down, making it a bum town.
Yeah, that is sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, I mean,
but
I'm getting better.
If we
You're
try
helping. I'm
try
really-
to
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. This is a Zoom call.
If we try to not always focus on the negative, because I know there's some times where you have to walk through negative feelings and you have to.
I think you're right. We had that conversation this morning. I think you're right. I don't need to ever visit the negative feelings. It is very self-destructive. It's just a new form of self-destruction that I've adopted since I can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So instead I go, oh, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not good enough for that. And it's not good behavior. It's not good for me or my mental health. And it's, eventually it's going to sabotage this whole journey, because you're going to be like, I'm tired of this. Just have a goddamn peanut butter and jelly sandwich and leave me alone. Right. So it's just something that I have to try to curb that behavior now, and try to look at things like,
Yeah, because if you're not careful, you're gonna replace one with another.
right.
And you can very easily replace overeating with negative self-hatred and negative self-talk. And that way, nobody knows you're doing it, or, it's not as like prominent as maybe overeating, but it's still destructive and it's still bad,
It's really bad.
quote unquote.
It's really bad. I need to employ The Secret,
Not necessarily, but you just
praise
need to,
Oprah, and then be
you need
positive.
you need to rewrite the negativeness.
I
of
need
it.
to, when I look in the mirror, I need to go, damn, I'm down 63 pounds and
Yes.
I'm looking better. I'm feeling better. When I get into the car, my belly doesn't rub. When I go on a walk, my back doesn't hurt. Instead of, man, I still have 100 pounds to go. Why is my belly still sticking out? I have to swap it. I have
Right.
to twist it the other direction, and I have to stop caring what other people think about me. Like, the whole reason that I have low self-esteem is because I have always said, oh, people aren't going to like me because I'm fat. I've told myself that my whole life. And so, unlike other fat people I've known that have a ton of confidence, like Heavy D or like Biggie Smalls, right? I don't know them. I know of them, but they have a ton of confidence, even though that they're overweight or were overweight.
Yeah.
They had a ton of confidence, at least outwardly. And I could have done that too, but instead I internalized it and said, no, people won't like me. I didn't even give them a chance to like me. Right. I said to a girl one time in high school, I was like, oh, do you not want to go out with me because I'm fat? Because I'd asked her out and she said no. I said, is it because I'm fat? Which is like, one, super immature, but I was a fucking teenager. But two, like that's probably not why, right? But then I just gave her oh yeah, sure, that's why it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's probably because I was, ugly. I had an ugly personality because I was so negative about being fat, Sorry for getting so deep. All right.
I don't have anything to say about that.
I know.
I don't like it. And it's one thing to, I don't know. I had the negative self-talk for a long, long time.
Like when I first met you, I was certain there's no way you would like me back because I was fat. And the rumors of who you liked otherwise was not a fat person, right? So it was like, okay, well, that's the person that she likes. this will never be anything she could like. She could never love this. And I was very negative to myself about it.
Yeah. Well, guess what, sir?
Well, yeah, guess what? Joke's on me 25 years later, right?
Yeah. Take that.
Boy, oh boy.
Now you're stuck with me.
No, I'm not stuck.
The joke's
I
on
don't
you.
Feel
Really.
I don't feel stuck. Don't ever, never feel stuck. I feel blessed and a lot of gratitude. Praise Oprah.
Okay, stop doing that.
Isn't that what we do?
No.
Oh, okay. What is the quote of the week?
Okay, well now I feel weird about our topic.
No, I actually think it really goes well with it.
But I don't want to be rude about it now. All right.
There's nothing rude about it
Okay.
because the topic isn't about an overweight person.
Okay. Well, I mean, it could be. Who the hell knows?
Oh, we don't know for sure, but it's not centering
Okay.
obeseness or anything. It's just centering food.
Okay. All right. Here's the quote of the week.
Yeah.
Quote, cut my pie into 4 pieces.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I could eat 8. End quote.
So
By
he wants
Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra, of course.
Because
There's probably a quote from Harry Carey somewhere like, if the moon was a pie with whipped cream, would you eat me? Would you eat it? What you said? I think that's funny. There was a thing going around about a guy who was telling his girlfriend, like, if I cut this pizza, do you want me to cut this pizza into 4 slices or into 8 slices? How much of it are you going to eat?
oh yeah.
And she was like, I can only eat 2 slices. And then he said, well, what if I cut it into 8 slices? And she said, I could eat 4 slices. It's the same amount of pizza. I don't remember the exact thing, but it's the same amount of pizza. She wasn't getting the mathematics of it's the same amount of pizza. You're just cutting it into more pieces. So Yogi Berra wants to eat just 4 pieces of pie, but he's still going to eat a whole pie. That's pretty good. That's a good one. All right. So that's going to lead us into the thing of the week.
Yeah.
And this one comes to us from our producer Moose, who sent it to us. It is an am I the asshole on Reddit.
Which, if you have to ask yourself, am I the asshole here? I've asked myself that so many times because certain situations happen and I go, wait a minute, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I don't think I'm wrong here.
I do feel like if you're asking the question, you might think you are a little bit.
You might be an asshole.
But it's not always the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is, and first of all, this one has 4,193 upvotes, which is, I think, pretty good on Reddit. I don't really, I'm not really, the only time I go to Reddit is when somebody sends me one of these to read it. I do have an account at Reddit, but there was something turns me off about this whole upvoting system. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be part of that kind of weird voting situation. Also, people have weird usernames like statutory ape.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, stuff like that just bothers me. Anyways, I'm going to read this and then we're going to discuss it. And then there's some comments we can read as well. Am I the asshole for getting mad for husband eating a whole pie? That's the title. As submitted 7 days ago. So
No.
I guess 4,100 is pretty good for 7 days. Am I the asshole for getting upset that my husband got up in the middle of the night last night and ate a whole ass apple pie? So I made dinner and I asked my husband to get an apple pie out of the freezer for dessert. We baked it. Then we went outside and made a campfire. We ended up making s'mores that night because the kids asked. So the pie went into the fridge until the next night, or so I thought. I wake up the next day and this dude has a fork and literally 2 bites left in it in the fridge.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about the Big Marie whatever apple pie with the crumbles on top. I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you eat the pie? We were going to eat that for dessert. He said, well, we didn't eat it last night. I said, yeah, no shit. We all ate s'mores and thought we would eat it tomorrow after dinner. He went on to tell me it was no big deal and I shouldn't be so emotional over it.
Oh, no.
That's a big mistake. I'm like, it's not that I'm emotional about the pie. It's the fact that your ass ate a whole pie in the middle of the night because you got so stoned and can't control your eating at night. And that you were so selfish that you didn't even think about the wife and kids. And he does that shit all of the time. He will be a glutton and eat shit, and I have to hide it. So am I overreacting?
Okay, first of all, pie is always emotional, sir.
No, this person is not the asshole.
No,
The husband
she is
is
not the asshole. He is definitely 100% the asshole.
Well, I wouldn't go. He's 95% the asshole because he ate the pie without saying anything.
Yeah.
But 5% not the asshole because it's a reasonable guess to think that, you know, hey, we made this pie, but we had s'mores instead. Maybe you guys didn't want the pie after all. He still should have asked, right? It's like the Taco Bell gambit, right? Like, he should have asked. You got to communicate in your relationship. You can't just come home and be like, what do you think? Something big like that, right? You got to talk about it. A pie's a big thing.
A pie is a big thing.
Here's, from my point of view, if we made a pie and we decided not to eat that pie, and then we put that pie in the refrigerator, I would immediately start fantasizing about when I might eat some of that pie. I might start thinking about it. And then I would be like, you know what? I bet you I could have some of that pie tomorrow after dinner.
Yeah.
And then I would be locked in. I'm like locked and loaded. That pie is mine. I'm going to get a slice of it. And then if I woke up and you ate the whole fucking pie.
Right.
Without saying anything to me, I'd be like, hey, hold on a second.
Give yourself love. So funny.
I had given myself a slice of that in my mind.
Yeah, that pie was mine. And okay, so yes, the pie is. I can't stop laughing. My cheeks hurt.
The pie needs to be shared.
I can't do it.
And also, just you know, we talked about this. We talked about this at the top of the show. Right? I don't think there's ever a situation where a whole pie is reasonable.
No.
For one person in a period of overnight. Right? Like if over the course of a week he ate a slice of pie every night, still kind of weird, but not as unreasonable as all but 2 bites.
Okay, so that's the insulting. That's the spit in the face. Is that
he didn't even try to pretend he didn't do it.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, babe, I did something real bad.
Yeah.
I ate the whole pie. Don't be mad. I'll get you another one."
I imagine that the fork wasn't like neatly in there either. It was like kind of just tossed back in there.
But like he just went at it like an animal.
But he didn't even leave.
Insult. He just left 2 bites.
Yeah, he didn't even leave a full slice.
What the hell is this guy's problem?
He's like, I'm gonna eat 8. No, I'm gonna eat 7.
Okay, but
7 pieces plus all but 2 bites of the 8th piece.
Okay, but like what we were saying is if he has control problems, that's a whole other separate thing.
Well, it sounds like from the story that he gets stoned, and then you know when you're stoned and you get the munchies, it's kind of hard to control that appetite. You know?
Okay, sure, but then go and talk to your significant and be like, dude, I really need some pie.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I have a piece of pie? Not the whole pie.
But that's the thing is he clearly doesn't have boundaries.
I can't stop laughing.
It's a lot of pie. It's a lot of pie. It's a lot of pie. It's a lot of pie for one man to eat. Although I will say I had a friend in the past that I came into work one morning and they were in the kitchenette eating an entire pumpkin pie for breakfast that they had just purchased from the Kroger. And I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, is that just leftover pie? And they're like, no, I just got this morning. I'm like, that's almost gone. And it wasn't like a small, like personal pie. It was like a full size pumpkin pie. That's almost completely gone.
There's just something
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Amazing. And so like F you to everyone around you.
To eat a whole pie.
To eat a whole pie.
I saw a TikTok where this lady went inside and bought a cake and got into her car and just ate it in the parking lot. The whole thing.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah,
I'm like grossed out too.
Look, I am a cereal overeater and food addict, but I have never been able to put away an entire cake or an entire pie alone. A whole box of cereal, sure. A whole wave cake, no problem. A whole bag of
like
nuts,
a personal cake, a personal piece.
Right, a piece of cake. A whole bag of nuts, not a problem. But a pie, an entire pie, I don't know. I think part of it is that there's not very many pies that I enjoy because fruit pies, they're fine.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to choose fruit pie over a cream pie or pie at all over cake.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I like pie.
You
Pies.
you prefer a fruit pie.
I'm the person that's like, oh, I've already had that pie in my mind.
So maybe the submitter here is like you in that, oh, pie's my jam. And he doesn't even really like pie, but he's like, hi. And he's like,
that'd be so messed
what's
up.
in the, oh, yeah, the fucking pie. And then here's the thing with getting high. I used to partake back in the day, a long time ago. And I'll tell you, you start to get into this repetitive motion on food. If you get the munchies and you start to eat, you will finish whatever you started if you don't go, I'm just going to have this much. If you take like a whole bag of chips or you take a whole box of cereal
you get
somewhere,
like laser focused.
you get super focused on what you're doing. And it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. If it's eating or it's watching something or
putting
drawing,
together a Lego set,
or playing magic.
Yeah.
And thinking that a sorcery is an enchantment. And sorry, Sarah, I didn't do that on purpose. But you will keep eating, right?
Yeah.
And then at some point you'll be finished and you'll be like, oh, what do I do with the rest of my life?
Right.
What am I going to do now? This is over. This feels wrong and over. It's this kind of weird thing. So I can totally understand that if that's what happened, how he ate the whole pie.
Yeah. But she's
and then
like,
it makes me wonder, is he the asshole in that point? Because there is, it depends on how high he was or whatever. But yeah,
we're treading on like,
I think
delicate
they're both
ground.
kind of assholes.
But she's like, dude.
There's a little bit of an assholeness to posting this online.
Yes, okay. She was not the asshole completely.
She's not the asshole in that situation.
Until she posted it for the world to see.
Yeah.
And then it was, bro, you're an asshole.
And then it's like, I don't know. You're skirting the edge here, buddy.
Yeah, but he needs talking to or some sort of help in some way because that's messed up.
So
the comments.
The Gunny Hunty 7 days ago says, so crazy how many people are calling you the asshole. A whole freaking pie overnight is not okay. Not only is it a sign that something is very wrong, as that is not normal behavior, but it's also just rude and disrespectful. Honestly, the fork with 2 bites left is the most insulting part.
I gotta try it now because now I'm really intrigued. Can I even do it? And 2, but I would get like, okay, everyone, this is my pie.
I don't think you could eat a whole pie by yourself in one night.
I don't think so either.
I think over the course of a week you could, but you're not that kind of eater.
No, I'm the kind that's like, oh, we have 6 people. Those are only 4 pieces. I didn't really like pie. That's my.
No, that's true. But even if you have something for yourself, you will I think you still have chocolate left from the last vegan chocolate box that we got you at Halloween. Is that fair to say?
Halloween. No. I don't
it's all
have
gone?
it. Yeah, I don't have it.
But you eat slowly is my point.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Yeah.
As a kid, I had food insecurity. And so, I don't know how to explain it without saying, but parents would buy certain things for themselves,
Right.
but then not have enough money to buy everyone something.
Though that's not true.
Yes, I know, but that was what I was told, and so
Right.
that's what I grew up believing.
Well, then the parents in that situation should be the ones doing without.
Yeah, maybe.
No, from my point of view, if you have kids, they come first. So
Yes.
if you only have enough money to buy food items for those children and not for yourself,
Yeah.
figure it out.
I get it. And that's the way we've been,
Right.
you know? Yes, exactly. That's the way we've been.
I don't mean to say, hey, fuck you, too bad for you. I'm saying like, you don't take that money and instead buy treats for yourself.
Yeah.
And then have your kids go hungry. You let the kids eat. You know, as an adult, you can get through
Right.
a couple of days of not being able to eat as well as you want to, whereas your kid can't. And if you're at that point where you can't afford groceries for everyone, then you're the one who has to take the hit. The kids should never have to feel that, is my point.
I agree.
At least that's my opinion on the situation.
I agree. But I grew up on, you know, food stamps and community, you know, it was called commodities, but what was it really? It was like government cheese and government like.
I think they just called it.
It's kind of like
food
WIC in a
stamps.
way, but you know,
I think it was WIC.
We just kind of showed up to a church.
Well, when we first had Liam, you and I were on those things as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? Like it took us a while to get beyond that point in our lives.
So there's that food insecurity thing, but you talk to our boys now and they don't remember that.
No, because we made sure the kids had food.
Right.
And you and I would do without if it came to it.
Mm-hmm. And so I grew up that way. And then like we would see them eating treats, right?
Yeah.
And having certain things. And I'd be like, fuck that. And so I would, you know,
You would squirrel stuff away.
I would squirrel stuff away.
Yeah.
And so even now, like when I get if I get chocolate or cookies or something, I'll keep it, and I don't care expiration dates be damned. I'll just keep it because I never know. It's a problem, and it's a little embarrassing because
I found your stash and we went through it, and like there was a lot of stuff past the expiration date in there, but stuff that you had like opened and taken like a bite of, but not finished, right? Like. And I get it. I totally understand the feeling to need to squirrel away something for yourself, right?
Yeah. And if I don't emotionally need it at that point, then I can just keep it.
Right.
And then when I do emotionally need it or want it, then I have it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because most
food has
sweets and
this-
treats aren't things that you actually need, right? Like they're emotional boosters, or they're like, oh, I'm giving myself a
Yes.
surprise or a present.
So I think for me, the emotional kick I get out of it is knowing I have it, not the eating of it.
Interesting.
So whereas
Yeah, you can't eat a whole pie.
I'm not going to be able to eat a whole pie, but knowing I have a frozen pie in there is enough for me.
Do you have a frozen pie in there?
No,
right
I don't,
now?
but I wish I did know at this point. But so I have almost the opposite of you where I don't like eating. Eating's not fun for me.
No, I don't get it twisted. I don't like eating either.
Okay.
I don't. I don't even know how to explain it. It's autopilot. Mm-hmm. It's this is something I'm supposed to do right now, so I must do it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not careful and I take, if I'm being lazy and I'll just take this whole bag of chips or whatever. I haven't eaten chips since the hospital, but
This was pre-hospital.
Right. Yeah. No, all of these habits you've been helping me break because you've been helping with the food. But pre-hospital, I'd go, I'll just take this bag of chips we just bought upstairs with me while I do some work. Mm-hmm. And then bag of chips is gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this chocolate bar up to work with me and I'll just have a piece of it over the course of the week. Chocolate bar's gone that afternoon. Right. Like,
yeah.
And it's not even something that I realize I'm doing.
Right. Which is, for the average person, that's
unusual.
That's hard to understand. Well, how and why and whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What matters is that's your reality, and that's how you get yourself into. That's how you get yourself into a situation that you have trouble getting out of.
Yep.
And why people sometimes don't believe that it's a quote unquote an illness or that needs treatment, not just physical activity and eating better. It's mental.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah. It's just like any of those. It's just like any addiction, right? It's just like anything that somebody hasn't experienced. They're going to have a hard time understanding why you're going through it or why you're allowing that to happen.
Yeah.
Even depression, right? Like people go, just don't be sad. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how do you know?
Right. Right.
Sorry you've never been sad.
Yeah. But
okay, we're good.
But for me, knowing I have 12 cans of black beans is kind of like a little, it's kind of like a little high for me because I know that it's going to snow and we're going to need black beans or, whatever it is, we're going to run into a situation where we're going to need this.
Well, I think that Marvel should cast you as Squirrel Girl. In the Marvel universe.
That's my mental state of it.
Yeah.
Is that I will be able to provide something somewhere, somehow, because I'm resourceful and I've collected these things. I don't think it's healthy now that I'm saying it out loud, but
no. I mean, in some cases,
I can't be alone. I can't be alone in thinking that.
No. I think stocking up on certain things that could get you through a long winter is not a bad behavior. Where I get concerned about it is that you will have these items, not the cans of beans and stuff like that. Those kinds of things are for the family. Mm-hmm. But you have this little plastic tub where you're like, that's going to be for me. And you put that in there and then you forget it exists until it's too late. Mm-hmm. And then we pull it out and it's like white, but it was dark chocolate to begin with. And you're like, I don't think you should eat it. It's fine. You've never eaten bad chocolate.
Well, yes, but in my brain, I didn't grow up with abundance. So if I had, if I had a Snickers bar left over from Halloween, that could, just knowing I had that was enough to I got something that no one else knows I got. And I know that if I need that, I can have it.
Whereas with me, Halloween night, I was like, what candy?
Oh, shit.
I didn't get any candy. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, no. See, that's not good.
No.
Neither side of that is good. So we gotta train our kids. Yeah. And I think we've done a decent job with them. They don't have any kind of...
Yeah, I don't think any of them have any eating disorders or food insecurities or any of that stuff.
You got to make desserts not a big deal.
Right. Unlike for Caroline Earl's father.
Oh, no. What does it say?
My father is fully capable of eating a whole pie, and he smoked once in his life. Dude can down an entire jar of honey. It's low-key disturbing to watch.
Honey?
I know. I like honey. I haven't had it in a long time because of veganism, but I don't know if I could eat a jar of it. It's just sugar.
Ugh.
We all thought he's diabetic or something, and his sugar drops unexpectedly. Nope. Healthy as a fish. We've hidden stuff from him for years. As he has absolutely no self-control. Johnny, did you eat all my cookies? They were disgusting. I did you a favor. But yeah, not the asshole from me. This shit throws you off no matter how used to it you are.
Oh my goodness.
Most people are saying...
Healthy as a fish.
Most people are saying stuff like, I'm bothered by the eating of the whole pie.
What are you talking about?
But I'm more bothered by the crushed expectations. If I expect to end my day with a treat/meal that I've been looking forward to all day,
exactly,
it better still be there when I get around to eating it. Apparently, this is something that all dads have. Absolutely this. I have a hypervigilant around my dad because he eats everything.
Oh, no.
I caught him eating my kids' candy. I caught him eating my birthday cake and not even getting a slice, just a fork and ice cream in the fridge that I bought for myself or kids during a visit. He's even eaten an entire slice of cheesecake from the factory that I was saving for later because I was full. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about it except during visits, but it gives me so much anxiety and it's such a letdown.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Why don't dads care about anything?
I don't know. I've never done that. I would never eat the kids' food, right? So when we lived in Arizona together with roommates, which were my sister and her boyfriend and then a mutual friend, I was accused of eating the mutual friend's pecan sandies.
Oh.
A whole package of cookies. And now look, back then, sure, reasonable thought process. Okay, we live with the fat guy who doesn't stop eating.
Oh,
he probably ate all our pecan sandies. But he comes to me and he goes, "Do you eat my pecan sandies?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what pecan sandies are."
Boss?
I'm like, "I don't even know what pecan sandies are." To this day, I believe he still thinks I ate those pecan sandies. And you know what? I wish I had. I wish I had because I didn't get to enjoy the thing I got blamed for.
Oh no. Here's the problem with that house. There was a lot of
There's a lot of pot smoking
There was
going
a
on.
lot of... Okay.
We can say it now.
All right.
We
okay.
can say it now because it's the statute of limitations.
There's a lot of people in that house.
There were a lot, yeah.
Smoked a lot of you-know-what and
I didn't
hung
eat
out in the living room.
I didn't even eat one of the pecan sandies, let alone the entire package of pecan sandies. I'm still a little sore about it.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
I'm glad we moved out of there very quickly
Well,
after I moved in.
Well, after we found out you were pregnant, we had to start our lives, right?
Yes, thankfully. Thank you, Liam.
Swimming Yogurt 897 says, "You're giving me flashbacks to the lamination incident from my childhood. When I was a kid, we stopped off at a bakery and all got some treats. Mine was a big raspberry lamination with jam and cream on it. I can't remember why now, but I ended up not eating it at all that day. So I put it in the fridge for the next day. All day at school, my mind kept wandering to the lamington.
Oh, no.
How much was I looking forward to eating it when I got home? And when I finally did get home, the first thing my mother said to me was, 'Don't be mad,' but turns out she had a contractor stop by the house that day to fix something, and she decided to give him my food. Of all the various treats in our house, she chose to give out mine. I got mad and started crying, and she yelled at me for being bratty, and she wonders why I started hiding food from her."
Oh, no.
I think that this kind of thing in a living situation, I'm going to go back. I think the guy's 100% the asshole.
Oh, no.
Because I think this kind of thing in a living situation, food is like, having worked as a cook and worked in fast food for many, many years, I know that the worst time that you can encounter a customer is when they are fucking hungry. People are honey badgers when they're hungry.
Yes, you don't mess with people's food.
Fuck with their food.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I get it.
Yeah.
If you're thinking, "Oh man, I can't wait to get home to get that juicy cream and jelly concoction and I'm going to eat it." And then you get home and your mom's like, "I gave it to a stranger." Like, what? That's going to cause some, like, you have the food insecurity. I have overeating. All of these food-based things stem from some sort of trauma in our lives that have caused us to go, "Oh, I need to hoard, or I need to overeat, or I need to undereat for some reason."
Yeah.
It's all terrible stuff. Actually,
food has
really hate this guy now.
Food, your brain just connects all these like emotions and feelings and all this whatever to food. Food is something you have to have. You can't not eat. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Emil the duck says, I'm sorry, a jar of honey? With like 9 question marks. And then the guy who posted the original thing said their dad is also Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Piglet. I ate a whole jar of your honey.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, you are a bad friend. We cannot let that boy watch this anymore. He is a terrible friend. He broke into Rabbit's house, ate a whole jar of honey, and then when Rabbit came home, he tried to escape out the window and got stuck, and then it was on everybody else to get him out of there. Oh, no. His little fat yellow ass. All right. The person who ate the pie is the asshole.
Yes,
we've come to that conclusion.
I think so, yes.
Okay.
But don't post it. But thanks for posting it, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for the content.
I don't know. I think we have to be careful about having food as like support or backup or emotionally attachment. I think it's
I just told the person who wrote this that I love them.
No, don't do that. Oh. But
anyways, I love you though.
I love you too.
The Lou and Me podcast is a Matthias Source production. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers. Produced and edited by Moose. Hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.